Well, hello. Welcome to the truck. So, tonight is dinner. Let me put that back on the comments. Mr. Charles Brandt. That's right. Let's get it going on. That's the way we do it. Sorry I had to come over and steal him from Clutch Trucker, but Charles, I'm going to poach anybody I can to come watch this. Plus, knowing how you like what I've done in the past, I was fairly sure you like doing this as well. Angie, how you doing? So we are getting ready. This is a little bit of a different setup than I normally have done in the past. Normally, the camera's right on this side here, facing the other way. But we're going to change it up here. See if we can't do something a little bit different. One, my light, my camera light, I didn't charge the battery like a moron. Let me tip the engine there a little bit. So that light is not going to be on. Pardon me. Excuse me. But we have the driver's side window without any of my blinds in there. Took that out. My driver's side bunk window. Took that out as well. So we can hopefully see what we're doing here. Get the legs set again. There we go. Angie, Stacy, how you doing? Chef Boyardee. Come on, get that off the screen. There we go. So this is my iPhone 12 Pro. So hopefully, I think the quality's pretty good. The lighting still needs a little bit of an issue, but being as it's 3 p.m. Pacific time here in Nevada, I think we're doing okay. So we are making, like it says there on the screen, a beef patty with a tomato curry sauce, some mixed vegetables, just right out of the bag, just a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt on those. Just boil them up, get them hot. And we're going to do some buttery noodles. Now, I should have put on there peppered as well, because I'm going to put a ton of pepper in them the way I like it. But it's really simple. I mean, nothing too complex. So, as people know, this is my kitchen side. So up here, I got various stuff here, pots and pans, a little basket that holds a lot of other tools, baskets and other different little things like that. Mason City, Iowa. Yep, been a little while since I've been there. Angie's on her second bowl of chili. Hey, when I make chili, I make a full pot, 4, 5, 6 servings, a couple of bags of Fritos, and away you go. So, but like I said, we got various stuff. I got my printer up here, which when I get back in my own truck, this will have more of a dedicated spot. Right now, I need to move it down to the bed so it doesn't fall and break like the last one. We got our Galan's oven here, microwave, air fryer, convection oven. And of course, it's got all kinds of stuff on the inside just to have, just use as storage when it's not being used actually to cook. Then, of course, we got our kitchen cabinet insert here that I built. Everything, as much as I can squeeze in there as possible. And if I don't have everything out right away, I'm usually digging in this cabinet. So we're going to try to do it with the camera over on that side to try to make it a little bit easier and faster. I'm not moving the camera around as much. I think that might be a better way to do it. So let's accidentally touched the mute button. So hopefully we have a little bit better flow with the with what I'm doing here, and you can see a little bit more of the action in the kitchen, not just me and the pan as it goes, but you can see, how I get things in and out of the kitchen. King and Queen Stacking, how you doing? We are good. We are in Primm, Primm, Nevada, right on the border here on I-15 with California. I mean, California's right there, not even a full mile away. But we are heading into Bakersfield tomorrow morning. I'm getting up at 3 a.m. to leave here, get this grater to where it needs to go at just about 8 o'clock in Bakersfield. It's about 5 hours. We got 250 miles to go. I'm stuck at 55 miles an hour, so 3 a.m. is when I'm getting up and getting going. I did not stay closer because I don't want to stay in California. I wanted to basically get up, go, deliver, and get out. And hopefully we get that done. All right. So let's get the old dinner started, as we like to say. So here is my little camp table, little cheap Amazon knockoff, real light and thin. Just opens it up. It's convenient. It just fits where we here in the kitchen. Got to kind of put it together. If it ever wants to go together, there we go. There we go. And it's not made for for cutting stuff or pounding stuff, but I can't really I can't really do as much as I would do as like on a regular countertop, but we do what we can as we can, and like I said, it fits pretty good. I mean, it's nowhere near perfect, but it does work. So this is our main pan for tonight. Good, heavy, solid copper pan. We're going to be cooking our beef in here, making our sauce in here. We got, also got I got one of my little 8-inch woks up here. So we're just going to do our noodles. We're going to do our mixed vegetables in this real quick. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too drastic to worry about. So we got that. So, like I said, we're going to be making a tomato curry sauce for this beef patty. Right? Simple little thing. Just throw it on the pan, let it all melt together, kind of concentrate the flavors, and we're good. Hey, Sister Lynn, all the way out from Hermiston, Oregon. OTC, how you doing? So like I said, it's 3 o'clock here, so we still got plenty of sunlight. My regular light, like I said, I didn't charge it, so there we go. But we're going to get some of the other things out here. Let's turn that down there. So we got a, what do I do with my, so we're going to set everything off to the side, but first get out our little table here, our little bed table, which we're going to use to kind of get everything set. So we're going to use a little bit of olive oil. This is actually my favorite brand, Lucchini. It is a product of Italy, but I like this brand pretty well. We got some black pepper. We got a little bit of regular kosher salt. Some Italian seasoning. Let's see what we got in here. Don't have any. I thought I had a can of tomato sauce in here, but apparently I do not. So we're going to use a pasta sauce to compensate. And of course, things always fall and ruin the thing. We have our regular egg noodles here. Helen, how you doing? Mia Navarro, Cindy Doss, how you doing? So this is just your typical, little egg noodle, wide egg noodle. Nothing too fancy, but we're gonna have a nice little bit of this. So we're just gonna get some things thrown out of the way here. And I had a trash bag. Let me get a trash bag for dinner here. I got this little bag here when I got some shoes, little sports shoes or some little bit of exercise equipment. I just put all my empty Walmart bags and other store bags in there, so I always have a place for my trash bags. Now I can just get this bag open. There we go. And of course, the truck cuts off because my APU is still giving me a fit. So we have to run the main engine still. All right. Stick that there. So we're just going to get rid of the bag. We're just going to, like I said, get everything out and ready. Get all the trash, as much of the trash out of the way as possible. Put that over the side. We have almost everything else we need except for some cooking utensils. So we're going to get a little turner here, or spatula as we like to say in America. And this is a mixing spatula. So we got one of those. We got a knife for a little bit of onion to dice. And we're going to get a wooden spoon. We need a fork. Need a couple other little spoons here for a couple of the other ingredients. And we need a knife for dinner, I think. There we go. And I only have one butter knife, but how much more? I rarely use it, so I'm not too worried about that. So we're going to stick that over here. Now, out of the refrigerator, we got half a pound of 73-27 hamburger, because last night we made the baked nachos. I'm going to stick that up there. Travis, how you doing? Red lentil and bacon soup with carrots, potatoes. Well, that's why we do curry tonight, so I can satisfy my craving. So we got a bit of the old Classico tomato and basil. Some of these ingredients we used last night for the baked nachos. So we used this last night. We used the hamburger last night. But the way we're going to flavor it does affect the other outside result. So we have some of our Japanese style curry. This is the S&B brand. Let's see there. See it there. Golden curry. This is a mild curry. And you can see it looks a little bit like a square of chocolate. So we're going to use that. Throw that away. Don't need that. We're going to use a little bit of yellow onion. A little bit of green onion would go absolutely fantastic with this as well. A little bit of celery, a little bit of diced, real finely diced celery, carrot, onion. Make it a nice little mirepoix, a little base for all that. But we're going to make do with what we got. Like I said, I'm still trying to eat down what's in the refrigerator a little bit so that I can eventually defrost it. Unfortunately, I got kind of sidetracked by that a little bit, but we'll make do. We'll make do. So I could, if I wanted to, put a little bit of bacon in there, but I really don't want to. I'm actually hungry because I haven't eaten a whole heck of a lot today. I ate the leftover nachos from last night. I had a little bit left over. I had that for breakfast around 8 o'clock. So nothing else for the rest of the day. A little bit of, except for a little bit of nibbling on a few chips. But other than that, we've been fairly hungry all day, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So we're going to take our ingredients here for the most part. Oh, besides my mixed vegetables, let me grab that out of the freezer here. And I already pre-portioned a serving, carrots, green bean, peas, and corn. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. Let me get this sauce started here real quick. All right. So we can have a little bit of AC while I'm cooking, but also so I have the power is reliable. So get my hot plate out here. So little $12 Walmart hot plate. Let's turn that down that way. There we go. Let's try to move it a little bit closer here if I can. A little bit better view, I think. There we go. And I'll try to keep my knees and whatnot out the way. Grab my spoon there. Okay. So we got that thing there. We have a set of towels. Always make sure we have some clean towels here for our hands and whatnot in our plates and bowls. There we go. All right. So first things first, we're going to take our hamburger here. This is 73-27 lean to fat ratio. So 27% fat, which is fairly high for most people. But I like that. So we're just going to take that. We're going to put it in a bowl. That off there. There we go. We are not going to be adding a lot to this, but we got that done. Give me a little cutting board up here. We're going to cut a little bit of onion. We're going to throw that in there. Not a lot, just a touch. A somewhat fine dicing. We don't want big, huge chunks of onion. We just want a nice little addition to the flavor. So we're going to scoop in a little bit of a diced onion. There we go. We'll wash that in a second. We're going to take a little bit of Italian seasoning. Like I said, just a tiny, tiny bit. We're gonna have some other things that are gonna be repeated in the sauce itself. We're gonna throw in just a little dash of kosher salt, bit of black pepper. Now you can add an egg into this, which would help to bind it, make it a little bit more firm. But I'm just doing the one patty, so I'm not worried about it breaking apart or anything of that nature. All right, so we're good for that. We're going to stick that right back there. And then all we do is just mash that up. We try to incorporate that. Make sure that fat is uniform. Get those onions distributed along with the seasonings all the way through. Like I said, this is a half a pound of meat, so it's going to make a nice large patty here. Or if you're very fancy, a Patricia. All right. Like I said, we're not trying to be perfect here. Good old rustic style cooking. Got a little bit of escapee here, a little couple pieces of onion. There. Yep. So I'm just gonna. Now you could put a little bit of water on your hands first to kind of keep it from sticking, but I ain't that fancy. So we got our meat all mixed up there. This little bit of escapee onion out of there. There we go. So we're going to get the pan nice and warm. And when that gets up to a good temperature, we're going to put a little bit of the olive oil in there. Ella T, how you doing? Huawei, how you doing? Yes, it's about that. All right, so we are not going to try to, get a real dark, sear on the meat. We want to kind of just get a good flavor to it. So I'm not going to worry about getting my hand clean until I get the patty into the pan. Then we'll clean our hand here. So we're going to do things kind of a little bit tough here. Watching my engine to make sure I can clean over here. Keep that engine from shutting down. Make this a little bit. Got to take a little moment to heat up. Like I said, this is a very heavy pan, so it takes a little bit longer to heat up, but it heats up more evenly. Well, thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. So yes, I am wiping a little bit of fat that's on my hand in the hot pan because I'm watching how the fat melts and how it's moving. Do not do that. Don't be touching a hot pan. Like I said, my experience and my tolerances are much different. Don't be putting your hand. Well, yeah, we're gonna get some color on the meat. The meat's pretty much gonna be cooked all the way through to start, but that's just a matter of practicality. Okay, so a little bit of olive oil. There we go. We don't need a lot. That's maybe 1.5 ounces, not even 2. Get that all the way around. Throw that way. All right, so now we got to get the patty out of here for the most part. So, like I said, not perfect, maybe not be pretty, but it'll do the trick. All right, so we got a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper in it already, but I do not want to add any more salt, but I am going to add some more pepper to the one surface. All right, so we got that in there. Now, a little bit of pepper is going into the oil, so the pepper's being cooked as well off the meat as well as on the meat, which is going to affect the way it comes out. So we only got this about halfway up on temperature. Grab that. There we go. So that's probably the messiest part right there, mixing up the hamburger. Just use these disinfectant wipes. They're easy, they're quick, they're fast. not a lot of water needed, or really no water needed. All right. Get that fat off my hands. Use a towel to dry everything off with. All right. So once we get a good, cook through on this side, we're going to flip it over. That's when we're going to start adding the other stuff to it. Right. This way a little bit. There we go. We need a trivet here for our for the hot pan when we take it off the burner here. So a little silicone pad that'll keep this plastic here from melting. Let's go ahead and turn this around a little bit. There we go. Turn that around this way a little bit. There we go. That'd be a little bit better, a little bit safer. So as it's cooking, I'm watching the very edge on the bottom, see how that's cooking through. Now, here's a little trick that you're never really going to learn a lot from many people. Right? You take your finger. Now I'm just going to use a spoon here, right? I'm going to rub a little bit of oil on the spoon. Just coat it a little bit. But when you're making a meat patty like this, put a little bit of an indentation in the middle. That'll help to keep it a lot flatter, because as it contracts, it's going to puff up in the middle. Put that little bit of indentation in the middle. That's going to keep it a lot flatter. Like I said, we're not blazingly hot here. Like I said, we're only about halfway up on the temperature control there. Just make sure that's loosened up a little bit. There we go. And all those little brown bits on the bottom here, we want those like that, because that's going to add, as that protein caramelizes, it's going to enrich the sauce. It's going to bring much more flavor into our meal. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get some other things set up here. So we got our noodles. We are not going to wait to boil the water first, then put the noodles in. We're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to, let them soak a little bit. And as the water comes up to temperature, the noodles will come up to temperature and everything will be A-okay. Put that out the way so it doesn't fall. So that's probably a little bit more noodles than I would normally have for most anybody, but I want to get rid of that bag, so there you go. We're going to cut a little more onion here, specifically for the sauce itself. Stick that in the back of the bag there. And we're going to do, like I said, maybe a 1/4 inch on that side, down to nothing. I'm not worried about being perfect here. So we're just going to finely chop those. Basically the same exact way we did the hamburger. For the onion in the hamburger. So I think we got ourselves done enough there. We're going to move all the fat away from us. We're going to flip it up on this side. And you can see the color we got on there. We're not trying to be super fancy. Get our onions in there. Scrape that off. clean that in a second. So we're going to move our hamburger over a little bit. Let these onions sweat out a little bit. Get some of that water that's in them out. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. There we go. And a good way to get the onions to give you that color a little bit faster. Get some of that water out of the body of the onion. Put just a little touch of salt in there. That's going to help to pull that out. Denise R., how you doing? And who is starving here? Attitude, how you doing? Denise? Well, see, that's the mystery that a lot of people think cooking has to be complicated. It really isn't. The number one thing with cooking, besides the will and desire to do it, is temperature control. That's the most important thing. Whether you're baking, whether you're frying, everything. You control your temperature, you're good. The second, controlling your time. Making sure things are done at the right time in the right order. But the main thing is just do what you like. That's more important than anything else. Let me tap the engine here. There we go. So, all right, you got a little bit of that onion, got a little bit of that pepper coming up. Now, I could add a little bit of garlic powder. I could add some fresh garlic. You can add some herbs as you need be. Which, like I said, we have a little bit of herbs in the hamburger itself, in the patty itself. We're going to put just a dash into the base for the sauce. And all that olive oil is going into the sauce. So we're going to stir those onions up a little bit. A little bit of raw onion here or there, I'm never too worried about. I'm going to scrape that off there. Stick that right there. No, I ain't too worried about the flavors mixing because I'm going to chew it all up together anyway. But like I said, cooking doesn't have to be so difficult. Well, Denise, it's just a matter, like I said, I love to cook. Now, I would like a bigger inverter. I would like a gas stove. I would like actual countertops to stand while cooking instead of sitting here, cross-legged on the bed. But my minor discomforts with the limitations I have versus my desire to actually cook meals that I like and I enjoy, and just the process of cooking. Scroll that down. Mavi, how you doing? Let's see. No, Umberto, I'm not mad at you. I'm just very busy all day. And just cleaning, organizing. Even though it's 68 inches from the back of the driver's seat to the back of the wall. It's like 80 inches wide. It's like 6.5 feet tall. Every truck driver knows how tight of a space it is, and you have to move stuff to actually clean anything. So I just don't have the time. I didn't have the time to talk. So there we go. Now I'm touching the meat here to feel how solid it is. It could use a little bit more to firm up. So we're going to put a little bit of lid on there. We're going to turn the temperature up a little bit to try to get a little more heat in there. Unfortunately, this is a universal lid. Nothing I have now fits this lid, so I need to get like a 10-inch lid, which the company I bought this pan from, Soy, S-O-Y, is from Turkey. This is a handmade copper pan with a silver lining. I'm going to order a lid purposely made for this particular size pan. This pan is a numbered pan. Everything they do is handcrafted. Like I said, solid copper, little touch of, a little alloy of this and that in there. But silver lining or tinning, because most copper pans will have tin in there. This one has silver. Put this on the floor here so I don't have that going all over the place. But I'm going to order a lid that is specifically made for this 24 centimeter diameter here. One, the same craftsmanship, the same company. So soy.com, I believe it is, or soy.turkey. Turkiye, I believe is how you spell turkey in the Turkish language. So, all right. So we are good. There we go. All right. So now we got the Classico tomato and basil sauce. I'm going to put a good bit of that in there. A little more, I think. Set it off to the side. Kind of stir that around to get that oil and everything else incorporated. Get that beef all sauced up there. Get a little bit underneath of it as well there. Now temperature has come down a little bit because we put that ice cold pasta sauce in there. Now, here is my Japanese curry. So an Italian, pasta sauce with Japanese curry. We're just going to put that in there. Let those things melt together. We're going to add a little touch of water to thin it out a bit. This is going to reduce, but the water is going to help the curry to melt a little bit better. Now, I kind of on a whim developed this sauce when I was living with my sister for a time being, before I became a truck driver. And I usually do this with chicken. But we're adapting it for a little bit of, come back here. Where y'all get to? There we go. Go for a little ride there. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and put that up. That's not much to see there for the moment, so I can read the let's see. Thank you very much, Cindy. I appreciate it. Mabby DZ, Attitude, Huawei, Denise. Well, I will take that blessing because I need all I can get. Mr. Brad Parks. Bonnie, how you doing? All right. No, I'm not married currently, but being able to cook in a truck, being able to cook, period, it doesn't take that much more. But for me, even if it does take much more time to make a meal, I'm 10 times happier than just getting food, from the restaurant, having it delivered, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Denny's, or, I like Red Lobster. I like, Olive Garden. I like going to those places once in a while. But I much prefer to cook myself because I know precisely what I'm getting. I know precisely what's in it at all times. I know exactly how it was cooked. It's always to my specifications. Melanie, how you doing? But like I said, there are many ways to shortcut your ability to cook. Doing a lot of portion control. Like here. This is a bag of mixed vegetables. A little 16-ounce bag of mixed vegetables or any other kind of vegetables you got from Walmart, whatnot. Like it's like $1. I mean, I think it was like 80 cents when I got these at Walmart. Little Ziploc bag, divided into four portions. Bing, bang, boom. What more do you need? Just portion things out. If you, thank you, Bonnie. A little inside joke from Bonnie. So, unfortunately, I had some quote unquote women in a live stream the other day. Your nice little Facebook scammer type people, and right out the bat, ooh, I love you. Oh, baby, I love you. And it's like, I don't know you. You don't get to call me baby. All right, we're going to turn that down a little bit. We're going to put a little of that sauce on top here. We're just going to keep stirring that. Here we go. We're actually going to take this off of the heat for a moment. Let's move this out the way. Set that up there. So like I said, temperature control is the thing. So we're going to take that off the heat for a little bit. Let that pan cool down just a tad. We are making, just like it says on the screen there, Umberto, a beef patty with a tomato curry sauce, some mixed vegetables, and some butter noodles. So let me find here it is. So, like I said, dirty spoon, dirty bowl, a few other things. This is how I normally clean my dishes. Just use the old disinfectant wipes. Blah, blah, blah. So, having those people on the, in the chat, doesn't do anybody any favors. Like I said, I don't know that quote unquote woman, because it could be a scammer from Ghana or whatnot. I don't know. I don't care. It's like, don't do that. You do it again, I'll just block you. That way I don't have to worry about you. So, nice clean spoon. Put it right back away where we don't need it. We can put our thing right back on the fire here. There we go. Like I said, we took it off for a moment. Now we got it right back on. So now the pan will get the heat back into it. We're gonna leave the lid here off because I don't think I need that anymore. I'm going to bring this back up to a little bit of a simmer. Right. And so now we got the bowl we mixed our meat in. Like I said, just a couple of these towels, wipe it out. Always got a handy bag right there. It may seem wasteful, may seem expensive, but to me, it's all part of cooking. Nobody thinks about the palm olive or dish soap the scrubbing sponge or the water that you use in a house when you're washing dishes, that's part of cooking. Getting this, doing this part is part of cooking. And every time I hear a truck driver, especially a truck driver, when I hear a truck driver say, I don't have the time, bull. I do, the only reason you don't have the time is because you don't make the time. Cooking is not that labor intensive. I'm not a professional chef. I've worked in kitchens, yes. I've cooked on a quote unquote professional level. Not any 5-star restaurants, but I've learned, I've studied, I've applied it in my own private life like I do here. And it's just a question of willingness to do so. That's the biggest issue. Are you willing to do so? And like I said, having a pasta machine on a truck, I think I'm probably the only one in America to do that. Having a pan that's a week's salary for some people, I'm probably the only one that does that. But I love to cook. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Never have done any of those things. I don't go out to the bars. I don't, I do stupid stuff, but nothing that's illegal or, absolutely reckless, just your normal thing. My biggest vice is eating. You don't get this gut down here from starving yourself to death. You don't take the time to build this kitchen cabinet if you don't like cooking. You don't get on YouTube and show people how to do it if you don't like doing it. Let's take a little. Yeah. So like I said, if you know the Japanese style curry, it's not very spicy. It's more of a meaty flavor. But here we go. Here's a little view of it there. So tomatoey. Got that curry going on. We're going to add a little bit more water to this. I want to thin this down just a little bit. It is just a little bit on the thick side. So we got that in there. So we're just going to. We're also, while we're doing this, we're actually getting those baked on bits at the bottom of the pan. We are getting this off here. There we go. Going to thin that out just a little bit. Now, we are pretty much done with the meat portion. So we're going to set this off to the side here. We're going to crank the heat up here. We're going to get our noodles started first because the vegetables, I'm not too really worried about the vegetables. I'm just going to mix the vegetables in with the noodles. Since I'm going to be putting butter on it, so why not? Yep. Had a little bit of a spill, so we got a little bit of smoke going on here. Let's wipe that up real quick. There we go. We're going to turn that up to the maximum. We actually need to get the little wok lid I have because I want that temperature to come up as fast as possible. So this is part of the fun of cooking. So, like I said, here in my oven here, I keep some things that stack well together. There we go. Stick that back in there, out of the way. My printer power cable out the way. There we go. Get that going. Like I said, the noodles, we're just gonna throw these right on the vegetables right on top at the last minute, and just like we're gonna just mix it up a little bit together. Christina, how you doing? Christina's a very good friend of mine, and I had the pleasure of having her on the truck with me for a little while, for a couple of months. I know she probably hated every minute of it, but whoops, truck turned off. Hold a second. There we go. Sorry for that shot there. I'm sure you didn't want to see that. But I enjoyed having her on the truck, and so like I said, we are enjoying ourselves as much as we can. So, all right, we're going to continue to do a little bit of cleaning here while we're doing that. So, like I said, some people will say, well, you're not actually getting them clean. Well, kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. Disinfecting wipes. Isn't that what soap does? So, this idea that you can't use it to wash your dishes, quote unquote, I find ludicrous. I just take a towel, dry off the residue, and it works just fine, in my opinion. I ain't dead yet, so it seems to be okay. Like I said, we're just get our chef's knife. Now, be careful with your knives. Like I said, just like touching the pan while it was heating up. My knowledge and experience and skill dealing with the knives, don't be running your hand along the knife blade like that unless you know what you're doing. All right, so we're going to get that put away. Everything has a particular place, and thanks to Christina, I do have to thank her for this, because she did have a bit of input on this, so that it made it function a little bit better. Now, I could have just done it my way and been satisfied with it, but I wanted it to, while she was here with me on the truck, I wanted to make sure that she could use it and feel comfortable using it at the same time. And I think what the compromises we made to get it to this point, I think it works pretty dang well. So here we go. And a quick dry off, like I said. And this, like I said, sitting in this position, growing up in Japan, I did sit in this position a lot. But take that off so it doesn't boil over. But at the same time, when I'm cooking, I prefer to be standing. It's just a lot more, it's just an easier position to be in overall. Take that off. Take that off. Wipe this down real quick. There we go. All right, so I'm going to set that down here for a second, out the way. I'm going to kind of stir that up. There we go. And we're going to do my vegetables. My vegetables right there. Good, good, good. Now, here is part of the tricky things when you're dealing with boiling water in a truck and you're not using that water after the fact, you have to be cognizant where that water is and where that water is going. So, to that end, I have another little 8-inch wok. We're just gonna swap the pans there real quick. I'm not cooking in this pan. I'm just taking the water out. So I have a little spoon here. Just gonna hold that there. Get that excess water out. There we go. There, set that off to the side. So the hot water, we're going to be very careful of. Like I said, I got a towel on the floor here, a cotton towel so the hot pan doesn't melt the plastic of the carpet. So we turn the heat down a little bit here. We're going to go ahead and add our mixed vegetables. I'm just going to add this whole 4-ounce serving of mixed vegetables because I happen to like vegetables. We're going to open that up a little bit, get a nice little. Add some pepper. Come on, hurry up. Add a little pepper. We're going to add a little bit of salt. We're just going to. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. There we go. We got about that much worth of salt. Throw that in there. Now, I do have a little salt container here, but I want to get rid of this little bottle first. So I'm going to finish up using that first. So now we're just going to kind of stir this up, get that pepper. We're going to be adding some more black pepper to this, so don't worry, that will make an appearance again. Okay. Now, I kind of made a little decision here. So this is a little over 3 tablespoons of butter. Get a knife here. I am not afraid of fat. I'm not afraid of salt. I'm not afraid of butter. So 3 good ounces, a little over 3 ounces of butter going into that. Get a little bit of a stir here. Now, if I was going to do full-on macaroni and cheese, I'd be adding milk. I'd be adding, some American cheese, but we're going to let that get in there. We're going to let that kind of settle down. Put that lid on to raise that heat up in there. Putting the lid on creates a little bit of a seal. The pressure is going to raise. When you raise the pressure, you're raising the temperature. So like I said, we do have some evaporated milk here. I could add that, but I really don't want it too creamy because I want the sauce here to be the dominant thing. But we are going to add a little bit of grated Parmesan at the very end. Let's stick that out the way there. Let's go ahead and stir so nothing sticks. Now, we're going to let that just come up. We're going to watch it so we don't burn anything. In the meantime, we're going to get a plate out here. Now, I do have plastic on here, mainly for the microwave, some quick sandwich or whatnot. but I do have some decent, some china plates. I wish I was in my truck. I'd have my pasta bowls, which are a whole lot better and nicer to look at, but we'll do that. We'll use that for the moment. All right, let's take a look at see what. All right. Nope. I love black pepper. All right, let me hit the old accelerator here. Here we go. Black pepper. These little seed pods here, amazing little things. These little woks I got off of through Amazon. Ecolution, ECOLUTION. They're okay. There's a few things I don't like about them. The surface that's in there, a little non-stick surface. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Teflon or anything like that. So what I will be doing is taking a bit of a grinder to them to get that interior surface off. Get down to bare metal. Midlife Trucker, how you doing, Tom? We are live, and yes, you are late. You are correct on both of those accounts. Yeah, we just got, well, technically, if you want to really break it down, technically 11:58 p.m. February the 8th is when I was born. To be technical, but there you go. Where's your plate? I don't know. I don't have control of your truck. I only made enough for one. I'm just here teasing everybody. But a lot of stuff that I have right now, either I got through Amazon or a few other, choice, providers. I mean, my ramen bowls. This ramen bowl here. You can see the dragon. You see the cloud and the design on the inside. These are imported from Japan, from the website Akazuki. AKAZUKI. I also got these little rice bowls from Akazuki. I got a set of 5 of these, all different patterns on them. Now, stuff like that, virtually no truck driver has. Now, if a truck driver does have, bowls and real bowls and plates, they're ultra cheap. I don't like doing ultra cheap. I do not like paper plates. I do not like paper bowls, plastic knives and forks. I do give up a lot by not being in a house. I do give up a lot by not having a real kitchen. Tom, I have an Amazon store card and I have an Amazon Prime Visa card. That kind of tells you I have a problem with Amazon. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 things waiting at my sister's house right now coming through Amazon. Let me taste my noodle here just to make sure. Okay. So our noodles and vegetables are done. Like I said, we're going to throw in a little tiny bit, if I get the bag open, of some shredded Parmesan, just a little sprinkle. Just to bring a little bit of nuttiness into the dish here. The butter's going to bring some of that, but we really haven't done anything to brown the butter, so it's not going to add that much. There we go. I think that's good. Got a peppercorn. There we go. So, we are good. We got the heat turned off. Go ahead and unplug that. So now let's get ourselves all plated up here. So here's our hamburger patty. We got more sauce than we need, but I can easily make a small thing of rice to throw that sauce on top of, which is good as a little bit of a snack. There we go. Let that sit off to the side there. My fork, whatnot. So here we go. Turn that camera down so you can see. So a hamburger patty, half a pound of meat, onion, a little bit of Italian seasoning, pepper, salt, a little bit of onion inside. The sauce, tomato, S&B Japanese style curry, water, onion, Italian seasoning, and you can, of course, you can add garlic. Garlic would be perfect, but I don't have any, unfortunately. You know, just saute that, you know, kind of braise that beef in there. The longer you let that patty sit in that sauce and bubble away and just get all infused with that, makes it much better. You could also add an egg to the hamburger patty itself, make it a little more firm if you like. Some regular, you know, egg noodles, a little bit of mixed vegetables, butter, and black pepper. And we're going to add a tiny bit more right to the top. We have just a pinch of Parmesan cheese in there as well. So there you go. Mia Navarro, what do we got here? It is so here's what you do. Here's what you do. Okay. When you next time you go to Walmart, right? Next time you go to Walmart, you pick up some cotton hand towels, little washcloths. I think I got this. A pack of 10 for like $3, $4. In between, let me go and use my plate here. So in between your bowls, your plates, your pans, whatnot, just put that towel right in between. Stops all the vibration. They're not going to be making noise. They're not going to be smashing against each other. But also make sure anytime you have them on a shelf, make sure you have a little bit of a lip on here. So like there's a little lip right here so things can't slide out. This door holds everything in. Put, you know, extra stuff, you know, stuff it as full as you can to keep that vibration from happening. Works perfectly fine. Like I said, I do it with my pots and pans. I do it with, you know, the things that are going to vibrate together a lot, mainly my cooking stuff. Well, I will be getting rid of that electric peppercorn mill. I will be going one with the hand crank again. I thought it was neat. I figured I'd try it. It's okay. It's too slow. It's too noisy. It takes up more room than it needs. I'm going to go back to a traditional hand crank. So we're going to have a little bite to eat here. Let me move some things around here so I can put this in my lap. Right there. Yep. So here we go. Now, of course, you can add some more herbs. You know, tailor this to your taste. Put my knife in the correct hand here. So a little bit of sauce. Nice little. It's hard to tell the difference between the meat and the sauce, but yeah, it's a little bit better view up there. A little bit of sauce on the top, a little bit on the bottom. So that mix of the curry. Here's our noodles and our vegetable. To me, that mix of the curry and the tomato sauce just works so well together. It is better with chicken, in my opinion, but it still works with the ground beef. Like I said, the more you let it sit and you let it stew, the better off it is. This will be really good as a meatball instead of a patty. Yeah, that reminds me, I will. Thank you. Sister Lynn, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I always like when you cook. No, I already had my Pepsis yesterday. I'm fat enough as it is. I shouldn't have that many to begin with, but that is one of my bigger vices. You know, a good Pepsi once in a while, or almost every day. So I do want to say thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming in. Yeah, a little small salad would be nice, but I'm trying to eat down the refrigerator first. So thank you everybody for coming in and joining me for this past hour and something. Cooking is easy. I can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. Just do what you want to do, the way you want to do it. Don't worry about the quote-unquote rules. Certain principles, yes, but most of all, throw the rule book out the window. Do what you like. You'll be happier. You'll be healthier. You'll be more satisfied. And you can have more money in your pocket because you're not eating at Burger King. Now, I don't mind a good Baconator or a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. I don't mind going to a restaurant once in a while. But my expectation level is really low. And I can do 10 times better, 10 times cheaper. So, other than that, thank you all for joining me. God bless. Next week, of course, Saturday and Sunday, cooking again. And I'll see you as we go down the road on Facebook and YouTube. Maybe I'm going to see if I can do Instagram, live stream to Instagram. I'm going to try that, see if I can do that. But other than that, everybody have a good night. Typically 6 p.m. Eastern is when I do it, no matter where I'm at. I try to do that 6 p.m. Eastern always. So, but I will put up an announcement prior. I'll try to do a little bit earlier. I know today was only like 2 or 3 hours notice, but pardon me. But we will do what we can. We'll try to figure out something good. I'm more than likely, I will be using this oven here next week for dinner. Some of you know I did a 5.5 pound chicken in there. So this will be used. I may use a sous vide machine. I don't know. But we'll come up with something interesting to do. But until then, thank you very much. Have a good night. God bless. And we'll see you all later. Thank you much.